So, wanted to share something with you from a book that I love. Mark McCluskey wrote it, Faster, Higher, Stronger. I'm not going to get into the book really that much, but I just want to read a couple of excerpts out of it. He goes to the chapter number 5, and he's talking about the fast track to greatness. He talks about the transfer of talent to the 10,000 hour rule. Now, the funny thing is, one of our taglines for over 20 years has been transforming performance potential into performance. And so, God, that was a tough one. Anyways, the first part that he talks about in here is he talks about, the concept of 10,000 hours. Now, the thing that's interesting is what he's talking about here is not just the 10,000 hours, but the understanding of specialization in order to be exceptional. And so there's a particular, ebb and flow of this, and there's a time, a season for that greatness, and that's after you have the proper base, and that your opportunity has come to, basically come to bear fruit. So in here, though, he's talking about Glover and Stanning, who were gold medal winners in crew for Great Britain. And anyways, he was talking about just how funny it was that as they entered the last 250 meters, Helen Glover, you could see like this expression on her face, just like joy kind of came over her, and she realized that she was going to win a gold medal. And the interesting part about it was that 4 years ago, she was, just learning how to row. 4 years, and in 4 years she became, a gold medal winner. So it's kind of interesting. Like, her mom actually saw an ad in a paper that said they were looking for, exceptional athletes that were tall and blah, 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 and that was her, so she, sent her in. Next thing you know, she wins a gold medal. It's crazy to think that, from zero to, maximum capacity, it happened that quickly. But it was, taking a chance and then the recognition that this might be me, and give themselves the opportunity to prove themselves right or wrong or whatever. One of the other stories, I'm just going to read straight out of the book, on this one, just for a couple paragraphs, is about a track athlete who wasn't a track athlete named Donald Thomas. And I'm just going to go ahead and read it. Actually, I'll just paraphrase. But basically, he was a basketball player at a university in Missouri. It was Lindenwood. And the interesting thing about it was, one day he was kind of going back and forth with a couple of track athletes, and they were like, "Hey, listen, you couldn't high jump, blah blah blah." So they dared each other, and so he went over and basically on a dare, he high jumped, and they said you couldn't do 6'7", and so he started off. I think he hit 6'4" the first time, then he hit 6'7", then he hit 6'8". And I guess a week or two later, he went and ran an invitational, and he won. He jumped over 7 feet. But then the funny thing was, fast forward, he went to grad school a year later to compete at the highest level at Auburn University, ends up winning a national championship, and then not much later ends up winning a world championship in Japan. Now, he jumped 7 feet 8.5 inches. Now, the thing that's kind of incredible is the fact that he did that in the span of, it was less than 2 years. My point in this entire thing isn't necessarily to go out and buy this book, but you should go buy this book, it's incredible. But the point is, we rarely recognize the different areas that we could be exceptional in, because we don't want to look at the obvious, or we think that we know better, or we think that something that we feel that we should be doing is what we should be doing, and we don't step outside our comfort zone, or we don't step outside our perspective to actually recognize some of the things that we probably would be incredible at. And being incredible at something is usually something that brings you joy, and joy increases your capacity to do something, and the next thing you know, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you just keep getting better and better and better. The interesting thing about it is, it isn't the 10,000 hours, obviously you saw that, and it kind of is that these people are outliers, but they're only outliers because more people don't find their thing, or their things that they're great at, and that they don't align them with what they are joyful of. So look for your thing and what might be something that you could do better, that could be your greatness.